All right, Joe. Don't worry about it. Just stick to the status quo, and you'll be fine. Or was it break the status quo? I forgot. Oh, hey everyone. This is Joe from ActionX. Welcome back to What's on the Tube, or welcome if it's your first time. If you weren't aware, this was What's on the Tube, where each and every week, or I frequently upload during a week, so I don't know what the terminology is for that. I should look that up. I review a TV show for you all. We're in the middle of the TV season right now, so obviously, well, not obviously, I'm reviewing a bunch of TV shows on the weekly. If you're obviously clicking on this one, then you're watching for High School Musical, the series. God, I feel sorry for those actors in ADR who has to repeat that line almost every single time they come into a session. I think. I'm not sure. Anywho, let's get down to it. Overall thoughts. I have a lot to say. All these teens are stupid. Now, again, I was a teenager, and I say that very loosely. Like, I am 22 years old reviewing a teen show, and it wasn't that long ago when I was the stupid teen. Well, then again, I wasn't in these scenarios. I wasn't in a musical. I wasn't in a love triangle. I wish I was. Okay. Feeling bad about me, over. I'm just really baffled to, like, oh my god, have these teens learned nothing from the later generations? Like, you know what not to do, and they still do it because of their own selfish reasons, as well as Ricky and EJ not making any strong cases on redemption at all. Like, I know, like, there's probably some people out there like, oh, I'm Team Ricky, he's improving, or I'm Team EJ, he's just too good. It's like, wise the frack up. And also, I apologize if I'm trying to comfort my hair throughout this entire episode. I am very overdue for a haircut. I was supposed to get one a couple days ago, but I got lazy, so that's on me. But anyway, so I apologize for that if you see me playing with my hair a little bit too much than usual. Anyway, so those are, yeah. I'm still I'm hashtag Team Nini. I'm still, like, I think I'll get to the end of the episode in a moment, but it's like I was really hoping for his direction, but they cut it, so I'm like, damn it, I gotta wait another week. And next week's Thanksgiving, and I'm still working, so that's hilarious for all of you to know about me. Anywho, so let's get down to the actual episode itself. So this was kind of like, now that I'm unofficially calling it, we are now already in the middle of the season. Like, usually there's like a feel with a TV season where, again, I apologize again, where we are very well aware when we're beginning the season, because we're still establishing all the characters, all of that. But since obviously this is a Disney Plus show, it's a new thing, so the episode counts are lower, the time limits are lower, so we're really moving along at a fast pace. So in my books, like, episode 2 kind of wrapped up the beginning portion. We're now in the middle portion of the season, of the story. So there is no more introductions. There is no more, like, new elements to introduce. We're already having to establish all this, so we're in the middle of the story, and I understand they have to get in the correct pace. I did feel this was a little bit of a slower pace. It's weird, like, this is moving quickly, but it's also moving a little bit slowly, where this episode didn't really focus too much on the love triangle. This was more on them, like, all individually working on themselves. So Ricky is off trying to just still be accepting the fact that, you know, maybe Nini and him are not meant to be back together, that he has to leave things alone, but he still has to get through this musical, and that's bothering him. EJ is still obviously trying to keep Nini, even though he technically has her. Well, I say that not in a possession way, but in more of like a relationship aspect. That even I'm confusing myself here. And Nini's not even focusing on these two guys. She's mostly focusing on her rival, Gina, since, as last week's episode left us off, Nini's phone was taken, but she assumed Gina took it, but in reality her boyfriend took it. So the entire episode was like Nini trying to learn the concept of revenge, because, like, this year for Nini is a very brand new year. She's opening out her shell. She's got this new boyfriend. She's in the lead in the musical. So these are all very new challenges for her to deal with, and she has to learn that, okay, there's a better way to handle this. And obviously she didn't even know that Gina didn't even have her phone, even though she did play a role in it. It's still at the end of the day, you know, it's just not right to retaliate in that direction. So that's where kind of those characters were in. We actually did play more into Miss Jen this episode, where I'm going to call him the dick teacher, because this teacher is like, he just doesn't like musicals. He just doesn't like fun, I'm assuming, or at least he doesn't like, her being around, changing things up, even though we technically haven't even seen her really changing that many things up, and actually challenging her like position as the quote unquote background dancer from High School Musical 1. And that kind of does play in a revelation of that. But let's quickly go in order here. I'm gonna go. So Ricky's subplot is not really that much in this episode. We pick things up with EJ in his car. With the again, I should be knowing the names by this point. Again, like I said, we're in the middle of the story. I should know these names, but I don't, so I apologize. So his cousin, they're talking about she's disappointed in him for taking the phone, but he's been reading. He found out about the song that Nini wrote for Ricky back at the beginning of last summer. So that kind of obviously is already shaking some things up in terms of his ego, confidence level, conscience. I don't know what you want to describe it, and it's not sitting well for him, and it's also unopportune time. And also another thing is that for Nini, this is another thing. This is my only now real gripe with Nini is that she clearly still has Ricky on her phone, and she didn't even bother to change his call screen. So that's on her fault. So that's the only real blow to Team Nini this week. That was the only real blow. But instead of answering the phone, Ricky leaves a message where he was kind of playing another sly move of trying to get her back, but it doesn't really work out that well for him. So he kind of scrubs the message, but it's already too late. EJ already read most of it. So by that point, the wheels are in motion for those two to have some sort of confrontation, which, spoilers, it doesn't. Meanwhile, Nini's friend, she can't find her phone. And this is obviously, she's the most chill person when it comes to phone loss. Because when I lost my phone in high school, literally all my friends went around the neighborhood using the Find My Phone app to try and find my phone. It took us literally 2 days to find it, and it turned out it was actually in my high school gym teacher's locker. So that was another hilarious thing, how that got there. Stay tuned for a future episode of the Pod Xcast. I love self-promoting. I really do. But anyway, back to the main show. So I'm honestly very surprised that Nini is so chill about this is her phone. And I understand, not everyone cares about their phone that much. I get that, but in this day and age, especially that age group, I assume the phone is the lifeline. It's a very important thing to have in a teenage life, or young adult in my case. So the fact she was able to go for I think 3 days without the phone, and obviously I'm still very concerned how EJ did not return it anytime sooner. Speaks a lot about Nini's character. She doesn't really care about the technology that much to at least even to be worried superbly on the subject. But anyway, so while she's slowly getting revenge on Gina by stealing her dance shoe, and Gina's obviously not making a good case for herself, and she doesn't even give a damn because she's giving Nini a private teaching for one of the dance scenes for Stick to the Status Quo, which even I remember that Gabrielle didn't freaking dance in that number, so why the hell does Nini have to know anything? Or maybe it was just Gina just trying to show off, hey, I'm better than you, I should be Gabriella, but whatever. So it's not helping her case either, nor do I think she even cares. And even the moment when Nini decides, you know what, I'm just going to give the shoes, accept my loss, and move on. Gina still does not make the case, and she's even still insulting Nini when she's not even in the scene. So, secretly Nini was, hiding behind some curtain. Also, Nini had a very horrible hiding spot. That is clearly visible. How the hell did Gina not see her? Whatever. So anywho, so while Nini's dealing with her emotions on that front, EJ's having a personal dilemma where he's supposed to be Mr. Perfect, and he has stolen a phone from his own girlfriend. So even his own ego is kind of in shambles a little bit. So he's trying to figure out, okay, how do I properly give her phone back, still being with her, but still being sincere to her, as well as still solidifying that I'm the one for her, not obviously Ricky. So he actually writes a song, which isn't that bad of a song, and obviously as a rough song goes, it's better than anything I've ever produced. So good for him. But he opts not to do it since his cousin does give him some critical feedback. It's not really that good. It's it's okay, but at the end of the day, but it's not really a great one. So at least she was honest there. So meanwhile, Ricky's front, he's not really doing much. He's just riding the winds of this episode a little bit. We get to a one-on-one rehearsal between the two of them, and it does get heated because while they're acting out a scene, I guess this was when this was after I don't remember the movie. I should rewatch the movie when I'm doing this show. It make things a lot more simpler for me. But anyway, it leads to them having a brief, intense confrontation where with a basketball, and it kind of doesn't end so well as Ricky kind of puts too much force into the basketball and kind of hits EJ, causing his lip to like cut open and bleed out. So again, not a good grounds for these two young teenagers. But while Miss Jen is trying to get this situation under control, the asshat teacher, as I'll call him now, because I can't really come up with another name for him, appears, and he actually kind of like confronts her, like, listen, I know the truth. You are not. You were in the movie, but you were in like a background dancer. You were just an extra who didn't have a line, who didn't have like a name or anything. You were just there. So the credibility of her like being a teacher at the school trying to perform this musical is not on good merit, and you should be. And he's obviously like he's a twofold thing. It's honesty first of all. Like a teacher should be honest with their students. And also, like, she lied to get this position, whether that was for the money's sake or just because she wanted to fulfill out her personal fantasies. We didn't get that far in the conversation yet. As the again, I don't know names that well. So the young dance instructor, the young dance like expert who's the choreographer, the ones filling Brian's shoes from the movie. Again, I apologize if I don't know his name. It's just like, again, it's been a long day for me. It's been a weird day for me. He kind of like gets in that moment. He kind of like gets involved. Not in the sense of like he didn't know what they were talking about, but he felt the mood of the conversation, that it wasn't going in a very friendly direction. He tries to help out, and this teacher was not really nice at all, because like he was talking down on him, like, you know, he has no friends, and like I don't think he said it exactly like that, but it was like the attitude he was giving, like that he's not one of the popular kids and stuff like that. And actually, Miss Jen was honestly having a sincere moment where it's like, listen, he may not have had any friends prior to this musical, but now because of this music production, he's slowly making all these friends. Which honestly, when any musical production, like you start out as strangers, but you do get a good rapport with each other once it's over. So in that case, yeah, that he is going to make these friends. They're having some fun time, even though there's still a lot of drama happening behind the scenes. They're still having a good time, and Miss Jen sees that as they're doing a vocal warm up, and it kind of solidifies it. Yeah. Despite the whole love triangle and some other minor drama, this musical production is still going at a very correct pace. And I guess the teacher was like, God damn it, I was full again. I'll try again next week. And we'll see that next week. And then the episode ends with Ricky confronting EJ in terms of like trying to apologize to him, but EJ accidentally blurts out that he knew about the voice message. But then when he confronts Nene about it, who just came off of a not really an emotional like settlement with Gina, but at least a stalemate at the moment with her, so it comes at a very opportune timing. But once Ricky mentions that he tells Nene not to tell EJ about any future private messages, even though Nene was aware that, hey, I didn't have my phone and I didn't hear this voice message, but EJ knew about this voice message, so she caught on fairly quickly that, okay, something's up here with him. And I was honestly like, frack, yes, let's do this. Let's get this conversation over. Let's get the breakup happening. And I know I'm a dick for that. I know that it may not even be a breakup. I'm pretty sure EJ will find a way to weasel his way out of this one. But it's still like, and the moment they cut the episode, it's like, no, please tell me it's just a break. Please tell me it's like one of those weird Disney Plus breaks, and it wasn't. It was the end of the episode. So I'm like, so close. I want this to be over. I just Nene needs to focus on herself. Why won't she learn that? God damn it. Anywho, so yeah, that kind of ends the episode. Overall, like, I really did enjoy this episode. It was a slow paced episode, but we did get to know more about these characters beyond their current situation, even though still in the confines of their current situation. But it was still nice to like get a couple more layers into their characters, have them learn a couple more lessons, as well as learn a little bit more about certain characters. And I'm still really enjoying the show. I'm really digging it. And I'm very happy a lot of other people are too. And yeah, hopefully that maybe, you know, after this season we can get some, you know, actual High School Musical cameos. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on, let's get Zac Efron up in here. What's he doing nowadays? I'm kidding. Will they actually cameo? I don't know anything. And I will also try and make it a point to, like, at some point in the next few weeks to at least rewatch the original trilogy, see if there's anything, or at least the first movie, because I know supposedly from what I was reading was that season 2 will not adapt High School Musical 2. It'll be a different musical, which is very weird in my opinion. So, but I do want to. I guess they don't want to immediately like confine themselves in a 3-season, like we're just doing the movies. I understand that, but that's a talk for another day. Maybe once we wrap up this season, we'll talk about season 2 predictions. But we're still really far away from that. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. I'm still hashtag Teen Edie. EJ is an idiot. Ricky's an idiot. Most of these teenagers are like, they should think more, and I understand they're still growing minds, but still, like, some of this is obvious. Some of this could have easily been avoided with communication. But oh well. Anywho, that's going to do it for me this week, guys. So if you were unaware, this was What's on the Tube. If you had just woken up from now, I hope you enjoyed your nap. If you want to know what's coming up, so right now, I'll just get to the easiest part for if you're just interested in High School Musical, the series, I'll be back next Saturday with another episode review. But if you're sticking around for the long-term game, I am not doing the Rookie or Nancy Drew next week because they're on breaks. So instead, I will be doing a special thankful episode of the show where I talk about, I believe, it's not, I don't, like, I haven't personally ranked this yet in my mind, but I think this is the show that stands at the very top of, like, this is probably, like, the best a TV show can be in terms, like, of my personal connection with it and / my personal commitment to it, which is How I Met Your Mother. I'll be doing a brief series review on that next week, coming out, I believe, next Tuesday, I think that's where I put it on my calendar, so stay tuned for that. But otherwise, if you're just interested in the High School Musical, the series, it's not getting easy saying that entire name. I'll see you next Saturday. And that's going to do it for me, guys. If you want to, please subscribe to ActionX for more What's on the Tube. Please like the video, share the video, favorite the video, do whatever you want with this video. I got a date with a video game. That sounds a little depressing. Not in a bad way, but anywho. That's going to do it for me, guys. Peace out.